Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson we are going to create the rest of the body of the owl. We are going to work on the wings and also the other parts of the body. For the wings I'm going to use the rectangle tool and we are going to make a long rectangle just like this. You can see the dimension in the white box. Something like this will be good. I will bring it down and now we will round this corner. And you have to click on it once and then click and drag to round it. To round individual corners. Then we are going to rotate it like this and move it to this area. As you can see, the wing is very big. We need to make it smaller. First, right click on it and then go to the transfer, then reflect. We need to reflect it vertically. Then I will make it a bit bigger. I will click on this bounding box and make it a bit bigger. Then go to the object and expand. And right now we can scale the whole thing together, make it smaller like this. And I think we are good like this. Now press on the Command or Control with the square brackets to move it behind the eyes. You have to press and hold on the Control or Command and then click on the square brackets more than once to move it behind. Now you will make the wing part. I'm going to use the square. You're going to use the ellipse tool. Make a big square like this and move it over here, make it bigger. I will go to the view and then make it outline mode so I can see it better. And now we can move our circle. Move it, make sure that the lower side of the circle is crossing the lower side of the wing. Something like this will be good. Now let's go to the preview view again. Go to the view and make it preview. Change the color for this to orange. This orange. Now select both of the wing and the circle. Go to the shape builder tool. Press on the Alt, remove this area. And now we have another part of the wing. We need another part for the wing. I'm going to create another circle. Move it over here like this. We can go to the preview mode and make it outline again to see it better. I want them to cross each other from this point. Let's make it a bit smaller. I want the orange area to be more than the blue and white. So something like this will be good, I think. Let's make it a bit bigger. Okay, I think I'm going to make it a bit smaller. Yeah, let's select this circle and make it smaller. By the way, this is my preference. You can make this area bigger if you want. So it doesn't need to be just like mine. Now go to the view, make it preview, change the color for this to blue. Now select this circle and the orange part. Then go to the shape builder tool, which is this one. Press on the Alt and remove this area. Now we have 3 parts of the wing. Select these 2 parts and press on the Command or Control with the square brackets. Press until they are under the eye, just like this. And the next thing we are going to work on the white part. We are going to add these diamonds. I'm going to duplicate this diamond, bring it over here. By the way, I press on the Alt to make a copy out of it. You already know this shortcut. Double click on it and choose this orange one, change it to red, this one. And then make it a bit smaller. Then duplicate this one, press on the Alt and bring it down. Then because it's a group, we need to double click on it to open the group. Select this red one and change it to this dark blue. Now we need to put these diamonds all along the white part. I'll just move them up, make sure that their peaks are touching each other. And then I'll make another copy over here. And this one, obviously we need to rotate it. But let's first touch them together like this, and then we are going to use the rotation tool, which is this one. Then move this anchor point to this side and click on this area to rotate your diamond, just like this. Let's keep it like this for now. I know it's a bit rotated in a weird way. We are going to fix that later. For now, let's focus on the lower part of the white part of the wing. Let me select this one. I'm going to use the rotation tool and rotate it a bit. Okay, like this. It's good like this. Now we will duplicate this one. Press on the Alt and bring it down. Make sure that they are touching each other. Make it smaller. And then we are going to use the rotation tool for that. Put the anchor point on this side, and from this side we are going to rotate it. Just like this. And you are going to continue doing the same thing. I'm going to duplicate the blue, the dark blue one, bring it over here, make it smaller, make sure that they touch each other, go to the rotation tool, move the anchor point, move it over this point, and rotate it like this. I'm going to speed up the process a bit, and if you want you can skip the whole thing and do it yourself, and you can also watch me doing it. The rotation of some of these diamonds is a bit weird. I'm going to rotate them like this. The normal rotation thing. I'm not using the rotation tool. Just to make them more aligned with each other. Okay. This one also, I'm going to rotate it a bit. Okay, let's continue with the lower part and create some more of these diamonds. For this, I'm not going to use the rotation tool. I'll just use the normal rotation thing. Okay, let's duplicate. Actually, we'll duplicate this one. Make it smaller. And then rotate it a bit. Okay. Okay, I think we need some of the adjustment for these last ones. I'll make it a bit bigger because suddenly it's too small. Oop. Okay, I'll duplicate this one, bring it over here, make it smaller. Okay, just make sure it fits inside and also it is aligned with the other diamond. I just made another one, the red one. I think this one will be the last one. Yes, this is enough. Let's go ahead and create the upper part. I'm going to duplicate this one, move it over here. Oh, sorry, I didn't press on the Alt. You need to press on the Alt, obviously, to make a copy of it. And now we are going to rotate it. Make sure, make sure that the diamond is fitting inside the white part. Okay, like this is good. I'll make it a bit smaller. Press on the shift and make it small like this. Now copy the blue one, move it over here, and we will do the same thing. We'll rotate it until it fits inside the white one, and also it is aligned with the other diamond. And then we need to make it a bit smaller to fit inside and also to match the size of the other one. Let's make sure that they touch each other, just like this. Then press on the Command or Control with the square brackets to move it behind the eye, just like this. Now I'm going to press on the Shift and select all of these diamonds. And then we are going to group them together. Right click and group. Because you group them together, now it's above the eye. I will select the group, press on the Command or Control with the square bracket to move it behind the eye again. Now the next thing, we are going to do the second part of the wing, which is this one. For that, I'm going to use the line. I'll make a straight line by pressing on the Shift, make the stroke 1, the width of the stroke, go to the appearance, and now we are going to add the effect, go to the distort transfer and use zigzag. Now make it smooth, and we are going to play with these settings. Make this one 10 and this one 8, I think will be good. Actually make it 7 by 8. Now we will go to the selection tool. Selection, you can press V for the selection tool, and you're going to press on the Alt and duplicate the stroke. To make sure that the space between these strokes is the same, I'm following the pink guide that you see in the left. Just like this. It is telling me that the space is the same. Okay, now select all of these strokes, but I will create one more in the upper side. Which will be over here. Now select all of them. Then group them together. Right click and group. Then go to the object and expand the appearance. Now select the stroke with the orange part of the wing and use the shape builder tool. Press on the Alt and draw over this area to remove this part, just like this, and this area. Now we have the stroke only on the orange part, but obviously we need to push them behind the blue part. So I'm going to use the selection tool, select the strokes, press on the Command or Control with the square brackets, and press on the square brackets until they are under the blue part. Okay, now select the stroke and also the orange part, both of them together. We are going to use the shape builder tool this time to color these parts. So we are going to color them just like this one. So each part that we want to color, we are going to use a color from the swatch and click on the part that you want to color, just like this. So for this part, you want this yellow. And then we need this purple and also the red. So the next one will be purple. Then we will use this red. And then it will be yellow again. Then we are going to use the purple. sorry, this one, yellow again, then red, yeah, so just like this, you can use the shape builder tool to color your artworks, just like this. Actually, I will make this purple and then the other one will be yellow. So just like this, we colored everything in this part of the wing, and also now they are separated. Each of these colors, they are different layers. Something else that I want to do, I want the right part of each of these parts to be removed. I'm going to add the stroke to it, so I don't want the right part to have the stroke. For that, I'm going to use the pen tool. In the next section, we are going to go in detail for the pen tool and drawing, but for this section, I will just quickly use it to remove this part. So what I'm doing exactly now, I'm just adding new points, just like this, sorry. I'm adding a new point for this one, when you see the plus bottom, and then I press delete to remove the line. Just like this, I remove everything in the right side. I'm going to disable this blue part, go to the layers, click on the search icon to see it, and disable it until we finish this, then we will enable it again. For this one, we have more than one point, so that's why I'm going to click on them and delete. And this one as well. For the yellow one, select it, then press P for the pen tool, click on it to make a point and remove. For this one also, press V for the selection, then P for the pen tool, click over this area, then remove. And we will do the same for the rest. Press V to select it, press P for the pen tool, add a point, remove it. Select this one, press P for the pen tool, add a point and remove it. Don't worry about the white part because it will be covered with the blue part. Blue part of the wing. So we have some white areas over here, but they will be covered, as I said, with the blue part. Let's remove this one as well, and this is the last one. Select it, make a point with the pen tool and remove it, just like this. By the way, removing it will be with the delete key. Now enable the blue part again. Now I'm going to select every other one. I will select this one, I will leave this one and select this one, leave this one, select this one, leave this one and select this one. Now add the stroke. Make it 1, let's make it 1 for now, and go to the stroke settings, add dashed line, make the dash 0, and the gap make it 0.7. Just like this, we will have a stitch like strokes on our objects, but as you can see, in some areas, the parts that we put the stroke on it, they are behind the other parts. We need to move them up to be above the other parts, so the parts that have the stroke on it should be above the other ones. I'm going to use the control with the square brackets to move them up. Let's select this one as well. By the way, you need to press and hold on the control and then press on the brackets, the square brackets. Just like this, we fixed this issue. Now I'm going to select all of the parts that have the stroke on it, and we are going to add some adjustment, or to make some adjustment. Press on the stroke. We are going to the dashed line. I'm going to make the dash 0.1 and make the width 1.9. Actually 1.8 will be better. Okay, we are almost done with this. I'm going to move the blue part a bit to the left side. This one will give it a better look, and also we'll get rid of the extra lines that we have in the right side. But still we have some issues. For example, this one, we need to fix it. I think we have an extra point over here, that's why it's causing this art effect. Just remove it. Oh, sorry. Remove only one part. Okay, I will keep this one like this. It is not a big issue for me. You could move it just like this, but let's keep it like this. We have another art effect in another position, which is this area. Let's zoom in. It's over here. We need to move this point a bit up. Move it a little bit, just a little bit up. It will get rid of that artifact. Oh, sorry. Don't remove it, just move it up. Okay, we can keep it like this. Now let's move to the other part of the wing, which is the blue part. For that, I'm going to use the line tool. And you're going to create a straight line by pressing on the shift. Make the stroke white, and also the width will be 1. Then go to the appearance, select the stroke, and you're going to add an effect, distort and transform, add zigzag, make the size 11, and the other one, the ridge per segment, make it 8. Okay, press OK. And you're going to move this a bit to the right side. And then we are going to copy this stroke. Ah, sorry. Press on the Alt and move it down like this. And to be precise, I'm following the purple lines, the guidelines that we have. If you look at the right side, you will see these guides. It tells us where to stop. And sometimes just like this, it doesn't tell you exactly, or for some reason, it's not telling you if you're in the right position. In these cases, you can simply use the Align tool. We already covered that. But for now, I will just eyeball it and I will move it up. You can also make a copy like this. Press and hold on the Option or Alt and press once on the arrow key. Just like this, you will make a copy. Then release the Alt and press on the Shift and down arrow key to move it down, just like this. We will create another one using the same technique. And we are good. Now select all of them, right click and group them together. Go to the object and expand the appearance. Just like the previous one, select the strokes and this part of the wing. Go to the Shape Builder tool, press on the Alt and remove these areas that you don't need. And then we are going to use the Shape Builder tool to color this. So we are going to select both of the blue part and also the stroke. Go to the Shape Builder tool, then go to the swatches. We need these colors. We actually use the gradient. For now, let's use the single color swatches. Go to the swatches and choose blue color for this part. And then turquoise or green, I don't know, greenish blue color. I don't know what is this color. But yeah, we're going to use these two colors. Let's do it for this one as well, and this one. Now, let's select this part and go to the gradient, click on it. Now we have added a gradient to this part. I'm going to use this color for this point, and for this point, I'm going to use a lighter color. Let's choose this one, and I'm going to move it to this side. We want a nice transition between two blues. This is good. Now all you have to do to select other blues, press I and click on the other part, which we added the gradient, and it will apply to it just like this. Select this one, press I and click on this area. Now we have the gradient on all of them. Let's do it for the green part as well. I will make this one this color, this green. For the other point, I want to add something bluish, but let's swap the colors first. Click on this icon to swap them. And let's change the color for this one. A kind of blue, one of these. And then we can come over here and change it to make it a bit lighter. Something like this will be good, I think. Yeah, move this in the middle. And now I will use the eyedropper to copy the same gradient on the other parts. And you already know that we press I for the eyedrop. Okay, we are almost done. The last thing we want to add here is to add some of the strokes. So I'm going to select all of the blue ones. And I'm going to add the stroke. Press on the Command or Control to make it somewhere 0.5 and then add some dashes. I'm going to increase the size of the dash and also let's increase the size of the gaps as well. Do it until you get something like this, or you don't necessarily have something like this. You can have something different if you want. Just play with the settings. For me, something like this would be good, but I obviously need to change the color for the stroke. I will select them again, go to the color for the stroke. I want to add one of the gradients to it. So I will add a ready gradient, which is the black and white. And then I'll go to the gradient tool, select the stroke, make sure it is in the front. And now let's change the colors. I'm going to use one of the swatches that we have. I will use this green and also this blue. Let's combine them together. I want to make this one lighter a bit. So something like this is pretty good. Now what I want to do is to group everything together for this wing. Select them, then right click and group. And then I will do the same for the eyes. Group them together. And then go to the object and expand it. And now let's group these as well. We cannot group the back part and also the front part of the ears together because the back part of the ears is behind the eyes. If you group them, just like now, if you group them together, the back part will be in front of the eyes, and we don't want that. We want it to be behind it. So I'm going to group the back part together and also the front part together. Basically, the front part and the back part will be two different groups. So I've just selected everything. I'll press on the shift and click on this area and this one as well. Now we deselected the back part, group this. As you can see, accidentally I have created an extra leaf. I just delete it like this. Now let's select the back part, these two red ones, group them together. Perfect. Now let's reflect this. Go to the transfer, reflect, and copy. But make sure it's vertical. Now we reflect it and at the same time we made a copy out of it. I'll just move it over here. And I'm going to use some guidelines to make sure that both of the wings are in the same position. I mean, in the similar position regarding to the eyes. So I will put one over here and one over here. Go to the view because the guides are locked. I'm going to the view and then go to the guides, then unlock them. And now I'm going to move it. Right now I'm just eyeballing the distance between the eye and the right wing. I want to do the same thing for the left one. Later I will come back to this and fix this. Okay, right now we have two wings. Now we will create the body. For the body we are going to use the rectangle tool. I'll make a rectangle this size, And then we are going to round the corners just like this. Then we will go to the direct selection tool. But first make sure that it's in the middle. Go to the direct selection tool and select this point. Actually, these are 2 points. Make sure you select both of them just like this. Drag on the points and then move it down with the arrow keys. I think like this we are good. Go to the selection tool, but make sure you click in an empty area before you play or you move it up. I'm moving it up with the arrow keys, and then I'm using the command or control with the square brackets to send it back. Now change the color to anything that you want and also disable the stroke. Now we have the body, but we need to work on it more. I will add some texture and patterns on it, which is these dots. For that, I'm going to use the line tool, and you already know how to use this. We will make the stroke 1, and then go to the appearance. We will change the color to white. Now we have the gradient on it. Actually, I'm going to make it white. Now go to the effects, distort and transform, then zigzag. We are going to add the zigzag to it. Use these settings, 15 by 15. Actually make this one 10. And this one 70 is good. Press OK. As you can see, the color is still not white because we have a gradient on it. Select the stroke and go to the swatches and make it white just like this. Now go to the selection tool and you are going to make many copies of this stroke. Before we do that, I want to go to the zigzag again. I will make it corner instead of smooth, so you have something like this. Now press on the Alt and bring it down like this to make a copy. And we are going to make copies all along the body. For the alignment, I'm following the guidelines which are in the pink color. You can see them in the right side. Okay, we'll make one more copy and that's it. Now select all of these lines just like this, right click, group them together, go to the object, expand it. Now select this stroke with the body and use the shape builder tool, press on the Alt and remove this one, press in the Alt and select this area to remove. Now we are going to go to the selection tool. We will select our strokes and move it behind the wings. So we want to use the command or control with the square brackets to move it up and down. So right now the strokes are behind the wings. Now select the stroke and the body, go to the shape builder tool, press on the Alt, you are going to remove these areas. So the end of the body will be something like this. Now select the stroke, then go to the settings for the stroke, add dashed lines. Make the dash 0. And then we are going to play with the gap. Make it 6 for now and round the caps just like this. I'm going to change the gap again. Go to the stroke settings and we are going to bring this even more down. Make it 4. 4 is good. Then change the opacity for the stroke. You're going to make it 30, which is good, like this. Now something else we need to do is to select both of the body and the stroke. I want to group them together and then we are going to expand it. Like this we will be able to play with the size freely. So just select the stroke and the body, right click, group them together, go to the object, expand, press OK. And now we are going to resize it. I want to make it a bit bigger. And just like this, we change the size without any problems. The next thing we are going to do is to create the legs and also the tree. I will start with the tree, create a rectangle, just like this. And now with the rectangle tool, I'm going to create the legs. It is very easy. Just create a rectangle like this. Just zoom in to see the round corners, and around the corners just like this. And we are going to add a gradient to it. We need to be orange with the yellow. I'm going to use this yellow. And this one will be, oh, sorry, I create a new point. Click on this point, and we are going to add an orange to it. I will change this point to something more yellow, and I will move this point to get something similar to what we have on the example. Okay, now duplicate it, make it smaller, just like this, and move it in the middle, and make sure the sides are fully rounded. We'll make another copy to the side, select all of them, and I'm going to move it over this area. Let's make it a bit bigger. Now select all of them. Press on the Shift and select all of them just like this, and press on the Alt and make another copy, move it to this side, which is the right side. And now we created two legs for the owl, but obviously they are high a bit. I need to move them down, I think. Let's select both of the legs and move them down. And now for the tree, I will move it down as well, and I will make it a bit thinner. I think it's a bit too thick. Zoom in and make it smaller like this, and we need to round this as well. So to see the round corners, you need to zoom in a lot. Now we can see these widgets and make it round like this. Then we will add the gradient to it and change the color to green. We will combine these two greens together. Perfect. Now the last thing we are going to do is to create these leaves. For that, I'm going to use the ellipse tool to create two circles. Put them on top of each other like this. Then use the shape builder tool. Press on the Alt and remove these areas. Now we have a leaf shape. Move it over here, make it smaller, and now we can change the color. We will make this blue, and this one will be a darker blue, just like this. And of course we will add some of the stroke to it. The stroke should be white. Yeah, 0.5 is good. Let's make the stick or the branch just like this. I don't know what you call it actually in English, but make something like this. I'm using the line tool to create this part of the leaf. So you just make some lines like this. And like this we are good. Now the next thing we are going to do is to group them together and create some copy of it. But before we do that, I'm going to create another line over this area. And as you can see, the width of the strokes is not similar. You can choose individual and change them, or we can choose everything together and then change the stroke. We'll make it 0.75. This one is good. Then group them together. Now I'll move this down, press on the Alt and make another copy, move this one up, and press on the Command and also with the square brackets to move it behind the tree. I'm going to rotate this just like this, move it over here, make it a bit smaller, and of course I will use the Command with the square brackets or Control with the square brackets to move it down. I will make another copy, move it over here. I will double click on it to go to the isolation mode and make the stick a bit shorter like this. then go out of the isolation mode and move it over here. I'll remove this one. And one last thing I want to do is to make the stick of this leaf a bit shorter. And you know, they are groups, so you have to double click on it to go to the isolation mode, and then you can play with the individual layers. So just like this, we created almost everything. In the view, I'm going to remove the guides, go to the guides and clear the guides. Now select everything and I will move it over this area. Now we can group things together. I'm going to group the legs first, select all of them. Right click, group them together. And then the stick and the leaves, group them together. And everything else, we already grouped them together. Now I'm going to select everything about the body. Actually, not the stick or the tree, only the body. Right click and group them together. Now we have the body separated from the tree, and also we have the tree itself. Okay, just like this, we finished our beautiful owl. Hope you enjoyed and learned something new. I know this was a bit complex and too long, but I just wanted you to know that even with the basic tools that you have learned, you can create some really beautiful stuff. I'll see you in the next lesson and the next section. Bye bye.